Hey everyone, this is your girl TC. Many call me Tam, but today I'm here to introduce to you my very first podcast. And I have my very first guest here with me, Mr. Underground. Do you mind introducing yourself to everybody?
Yes, man. What's up, y'all? I'm Underground, aka Mr. Did I mention that? My first time on a podcast being interviewed. It should be a good one.
It should. So before we start, where did you get your catchphrase from?
Mr. Did I mention that?
Yeah, where did you get that from?
Funny story. I went to a gym and I was recording a guy like training. He was getting ready for a big fight. And while he was training, I asked him like, yo, let me record you. So as he hitting the bag and doing anything else, I'm just talking. I'm just talking in the background. I said, did I mention that? And then I said it again, like, did I mention that? And I ain't think nothing of it. But one of my friends was like, yo, you got to keep that catchphrase. You got to keep it because it was so catchy. Straight from there, I kept it. But the fighter is Derek Webster. Shout out to Derek Webster, my guy. I tell him all the time, like, yo, I got that from you, bro. Like, I got that from you. You started it. From there to here now.
Many people know you in the things that you do. Many people think you're great in the things that you do. Do you mind sharing with everybody else that don't know who you may be out here for us, who you are, what you do, if you like doing it?
I love doing what I do, boxing media. I do a lot of press, like Philadelphia, DC, Maryland. So I do a lot of press for these guys. I go to a lot of fights. I'm really into boxing heavy. But outside of boxing, lower real estate. But my passion is boxing.
Because I realize that you mentioned that sport a lot. Do you personally have history with boxing?
When I was a kid, I boxed. Then I stopped. And then I got back into it. As I was growing up, I started getting in a little bit of trouble. So I had to stop boxing. I decided to go to the military. It changed my whole life around. But I never left the scene of boxing because my heart was always in boxing.
So how do you go from wanting to be an athlete to wanting to speak and get stories out of athletes?
Well, when I got out of the military, I know I couldn't box no more. So
What happened?
I just, I got a little difficulties in the military, but I knew I couldn't box, but I love the sport so much. I just wanted to be around the sport. I wanted to be in the sport as close as I can be, but not being an athlete.
Okay.
So the media got me places where I thought I'd never be.
That's very interesting. What is the best memory that you have as an athlete until you changed your path, I guess, and then as a reporter?
Best memory I have as an athlete when I was a child. Shout out to Mr. Mitch. Rest in peace to him. Mr. Mitch was our trainer when I was a kid coming up. He took me to this spot in Jersey where we fought. I really can't remember. He took me to a spot in Jersey and it was just like so much love. Like it was like so much love. Like the kids was excited to meet the fighters. The people was excited to meet the fighters and they was giving us like high fives and dapping us up. They got us something to eat and it was a great feeling. And that's like a memory I never, ever forget. So shout out to Mr. Mitch Allen, Shabbat Reich. Like I said, man, God rest his soul. And that was one of the best memories I think I ever had from boxing.
And as a reporter?
As a reporter, the best memory I had was meeting Floyd Mayweather Sr.
Nice.
I met him, great guy. He talked to me. I wasn't expecting the conversation to be the way it was because, a lot of guys or a lot of people probably come up to him all the time, but it showed me a lot of love, a lot of respect. So I want to say that was a good moment. And when I met Mike Tyson, so I had two good moments.
Legendary. How was it to meet the legend?
So me watching Mike Tyson as a kid and seeing how dangerous and scary he is, he really like that in person. So at the same time, I'm like nervous. Like, I don't want to see nothing to trigger Mike. You know what I'm saying? Everybody know Mike got a short fuse. So when I met him, it was just like, I didn't want to overwhelm him because to this day, Mike Tyson still get rushed and mobbed by fans. So I just try to make him feel as comfortable as possible with him talking to me. And I didn't want to over talk to him or get him irritated. So I just try to let him be who he was. Like let him talk to me as much as he wanted to talk to me without me doing so much talking.
Do you feel like where you are professionally, you're able to read people in front of you and kind of decide how to maneuver through talking to them and getting a nice few second interview out of them?
So this is the difficult part about that. When you feel like, okay, I'm comfortable, but it's a saying like you never know what somebody going through at that moment.
Yeah.
So they can look like they want to talk, but don't really want to talk, but they going through something behind closed doors.
Okay.
So they might be like, no, I don't want to do nothing right now, but I just keep it professional. Or I don't get them now, but I'll probably get them later when they're in a better mood. So it's a lot of times I've reached out to people and want to do interviews and it was like, yes, or never showed up or never called. But I don't get mad at nobody because I understand the business. And once you understand the business, like it's just business. It ain't personal. It's just business, and I just keep it business.
So as I hear you, you seem to have a lot of experience. How long have you been doing that for?
On my own, I want to say I've been doing it for a little over a year on my own.
That's a lot of experience for a year. You seem like you're ready to take on the world right now.
Absolutely. You got to be ready because you never know when them big phone calls going to come. So I can't not be ready. I'm always ready. When you always ready, you ain't never got to get ready.
That's a fact. That's a fact. Did you look at somebody as inspiration in reporting? Is there that one person that made you feel like I want to ask questions like that person?
Larry Merchant and Emmanuel Stewart. I think the old school boxing media is so much better than the new school boxing media. I think the way they put stuff together and how they coordinate everything, like they just didn't miss. Like all their questions were just on point. Like they didn't miss at all and they kept it professional. They never downed a fighter if he lost. They never talked bad about fighters, even if the outside world was like a little off, but you never really heard those guys really bashing people in the game, and they always kept it professional. And I love the way they speak to the fighters, and yeah, just those guys, just period. Old school boxing, HBO boxing.
That's you. You sound like you know what you're doing, and that's amazing.
I try. I'm still a student of the game, so I'm still learning too. So boxing. So many boxers. It's a
lot.
Yeah, so
Philly is legendarily known for that. How do you, okay, so you have all these talents. How do you decide who to speak to and who not? Because people that are already known, you may think of the business side of it. So you're like, I'm going to get an interview with him. If they come up successful, it's, traffic. But what if there is a person that is just coming up? Do you tell yourself, okay, he's talented, so I speak to them, or you wait for them to see, if they're going to be successful, or your heart just go for the sport?
My heart just go for the sport. It don't matter if you're a big star, or up and coming star, or amateur. I just want to show everybody that love because when I was coming up as a boxer, we didn't have that. So basically, if I do the kids, that excite them more to stay in tune with the sport. Basically, okay, I did an interview. I'm on YouTube or I'm on TV and I see myself, and that's something they can go back to school and they can show their friends or they can show their family or whatever they got going on, but they can take that with them forever. So even if they stop boxing, if you 11 years old, you did an interview and it's a big platform, you can have that for the rest of your life. Oh, I used to box. You don't believe me? Go check on Underground Boxing News on his platform. He got me when I was 11 years old. He got me when I was 8 years old. So I just don't discriminate the age. I don't care where you at in boxing. You could be a loser. I'm still going to get you. You know what I'm saying? And boxing is all about having that heart. So anybody that go into boxing is a real dangerous sport. Yes. So you got to be a warrior. So I don't look at that. I don't look at records. I don't look at their background. If you in a sport, then I'll do an interview with you.
All this is success, is inspiration. Myself, personally, I am into mental health. I like to know how people cope. I like to find coping mechanism, and I like people to be inspired. As you stand today, and you look back at your life personally and professionally, your transition from being an athlete to the military to now as being a reporter, what is something that you would like the public to know? Like something you had to sacrifice, something that you want them to look at you and be like, okay, I'm here today. However, to get here also cost me this and this and that.
Being a reporter for what I do is like time from home. You got to be out. I ain't getting no handmills in here. So when people see me going to like these big fights, if I'm going to Vegas, I'm going to New York, or I'm going to Canada, or I'm at, like, all that come on my own pocket. You know what I'm saying? And not only does it come on my pocket, like I can't spend time with my kids, or I can't spend time with my mom, or I can't spend time with the family. I got a goal. So when you got a goal, it's like a lot of sacrifices that you got to put up just to achieve that goal. And a lot of people don't see that. A lot of people don't see what you're trying to do until it's actually done. So my number one thing is like, okay, I got sacrificed a year, I got sacrificed 2 years to get to where I need to be at.
Yeah.
But nobody want to go through that sacrifice. Everybody just want the sacrifice. That nobody want to go through that. Nobody want to go through the sacrifice.
Especially today in the world of social media.
Yes.
Nobody wants to work. Everybody wants to go viral. What is the advice that you would tell somebody that is 15 years old, that is looking at you right now and is like, you know what? Maybe sports is not the only way I can be close to boxing.
First of all, my advice would be at 15 years old to stay in school, take school like super serious and take it as far as possible. If you can get a degree, get a degree. If college not for you, then I understand. But a 15-year-old, stay in school and read as much as possible. Understand the words that you saying. Don't just be saying words and you don't know what it means. So I told people like, read the dictionary. I read the dictionary. So because, and I just started. I ain't gonna say I've been doing it, because in this game you want to know how to use certain words, but you also need to know what them words mean. You don't want to be using big words. Don't go with it.
Yes.
You definitely want to do that and do a lot of research and do your homework and do not give up. Don't give up. Don't give up, because anything you do, you want at one point in time, you can be like, man, I don't want to do this. I don't want to do it. It's too much.
Why would you advise a young man, we're going to say 25, he is transitioning to his manhood and he feels like he may be too old, but he has this passion inside of him. He may not have the support system, because that's another question that I'm going to ask you after this. But he wants to be either an athlete or he wants to be around the sport, but he doesn't have anybody around him really encouraging him because now he's 25.
Okay.
So is it too late at 25?
No, it's not. It's never too late. It's never, if you don't give up on yourself and believe in yourself, you're your biggest fan out of everything. If you don't, it's not too late. It will never be too late if you don't give up. If you're determined about it and you really want it, you're going to go get it. So if that's you waking up 5, 6 o'clock in the morning, you want to be an athlete, you out there running, you out there playing basketball or you playing football, whatever the case may be, you boxing, you just got that dedication in yourself and that hard work, and just don't give up, because you never know when that phone call is going to come.
And the very last one, we have this conversation a lot about when you are too old. Okay. I have background in entertainment, music business. When certain females turn 35, 36, 38, it's like, who is your audience? Who is going to buy this? And unless you have a talent now, you can sing and you make people feel love. So when it comes to boxing or athletes overall, are you ever too old to come back if you ever was there, or to start between 35 and 40?
Bernard Hawkins, shout out to Bernard Hawkins from Philly. He boxed till he was like 50 years old. So, I mean, you got some older guys out there that's 38 is boxing. You got guys that's 40 to just start boxing. So Brian Jennings, 40 years old. He just fought over the past weekend. So like I said, it's all about, he have a record already. It's all about your determination, how bad you want it, especially in boxing. But I'm not saying go out there at 60 years old.
No,
and box. But Mike Tyson, 60 years old. He about to fight Jake Paul exhibition. Holyfield just fought. They all over 60 years old, but they got that background of boxing. I wouldn't be 60 years old just coming out as an amateur.
I hear you. Yeah.
Being that they got the experience, it's just a little bit different.
All right. What would you tell your younger self?
My younger self, oh my goodness, I would have took school serious. I would have took life serious. Way more serious. And that's why I'm gonna keep telling these kids, man, stay in school. Everybody thinks school not the plan, but school definitely the plan. Go ahead, get you a degree. If people tell you don't get a degree or don't go to school, don't listen to them, because the degree is like a backup plan. And I don't have a degree, but a degree is a backup plan. So if you got a business, right, and your business don't do as well as you wanted to do, you can always get a job in your field and go to school for something that you can actually use. Don't go to
Yes,
school
it's just to be in there.
exactly just
Yeah.
to say I got a degree.
Yeah, I agree.
Use it to your ability. You know what I'm saying? So if you don't got a degree, you could come in a game making 25,000 a year, whereas though you do got a degree, you might come in making 60,000 a year. Now, if you take 4 years of your life out from high school, I mean, you take 4 years of your life after high school, people usually got out of high school 17, 18, by the time you're 22, you can have a degree. And you can start a business while you in school, because people is doing this. It's not like it's unheard of. So I feel like when you in school and you in college, I got a lot of friends that was in college. They got a lot of time on their hands. You can even party and do that, or you could be in a room and say, yo, you know what? Sacrifice. I'm gonna come out with this idea. It might take me 4 years to get there, but I got it. I got a degree and I got my business up and running off the ground. So you knock out 2 birds with 1 stone. It's just too easy.
That's very good advice, especially here in Philly.
Definitely.
How important is it for family support? Or can it be friend support, or can it just be your personal desire?
Family support is very, very, very important. Close friends support is very important. I'm gonna keep it real. I was almost ready to stop. I actually cried because my passion for the sport is so crazy that when I stopped, I was like almost depressed. But I didn't have the support. Like I ain't had nobody at home like, yo, when you doing this again, or when you going out again, or I enjoy your interviews. Like I didn't get that from like my closest friends or family members, you know. And I got family members that and friends that send me reposts all the time, like all the time. But nobody, they don't never repost my stuff. The people I see reposting my stuff is people I don't even know. You know?
Yes.
When I was going through that mental stage, 2 things that happened. One of my guys that I met doing a boxing, this is why I love the boxing world so much. One of the guys, he did, bro, why you ain't on here? Everybody feeling your situation. They think it's funny. They think it's fun. You bring them to something different to the game. And I'm like, all right, I still sat back and thought about it. And then I was like, man, I still think I don't want to do it. I'm going through my phone, and God put stuff in your life for a reason.
Yes.
Now this should be any God. I'm not just whatever you believe in, whatever your faith is, but God put situations in your life for a reason. So
Yes.
I'm still depressed. My man, he hit me up, but I'm going through my phone. And I see Wallow 215. You know, he say, yo, you gonna let the 20 people you know stop you from your dream? You gonna let the 20 people, it's 18 billion people in this world. You gonna let 20 people stop you from your dream? And from there I said, yo, you know what? It's over.
Yes.
It's over. I seen his experience. He did 20 years in jail, came out. He on top. He on top of the world. And I respect that. So anybody out there, don't let the people that you know, just because they ain't supporting you, don't let that depress you. Don't stop doing what you're doing. Keep going. Just keep going. Don't stop. When I'm out and people say, yo, I watched the show. I love the show. I love that. I love that. I love that. The shows be long and people still be tuning in. So it's a great feeling. It's a real great feeling.
I've seen that a lot of hurt. People are starting new businesses, catering, hair. They travel the world and they notice that the close one never share. They will share posts from people that are already known. They have millions of dollars, millions of followers. But me, your girl that you know, or me, your man that you've known, you know that I'm trying to get this off the ground. So if you're not going to buy a cake, can you not post my cake?
Yeah.
You know, like it doesn't cost you
free.
anything.
Yeah, you're just pushing the button, right?
Right?
Push
That's
the
crazy.
button.
And
Push
people
the
don't do
button.
that. And I've seen this a lot, you know, in feedback, people really getting frustrated and until, just like you, either it was a post online or, you know, something just spoke to them, was like, okay, so your friends and your family don't post, but look how these strangers that you don't know from nowhere, they posting, they're your first customers, they're the reason why you have your house, they're the reason why you have your car, and you feel a little salty, but I guess you will wire your brain into realizing that, you know what, if that's not for them, then I'm going to go into a whole new path. But I have a question for you. Do you carry resentment? You know, like, do you?
Not at all. Not
Yeah.
at all. I'm gonna bring God back up because God plans way bigger than everybody's plan. So with that, my friends, they had businesses, they family had business. I supported, like help sell, repost, tell this person, tell that person. You know, I did everything involved. But my blessing come in a different way. I was resentment though. Used to be mad. Oh, nobody ain't doing it. Nobody ain't doing that. Woo, woo, woo. But at the end of the day, that plan that he got. Nobody can stop it. So me being mad at them gonna get me where?
Yes.
Nowhere.
Yes.
So I keep this smile on my face. I'm gonna keep going. Nothing ain't gonna stop me. It gotta be a brick wall that I really can't get through in order for me to stop.
But even still, you'll try, right?
Yeah, I'm gonna try. I'm gonna try to knock it down with my bare hands if I can.
I'm telling you.
But I ain't gonna stop. They ain't gonna have, like, I'm never gonna stop.
How, for the ladies,
For the ladies.
because you not have to cater for the ladies, how do you maintain, if you have one, a relationship? Or how do you even get a relationship or involve in a relationship with the perspective of getting somewhere, trying to get the money that you want, the success that you want? How do you have space for that, if any?
You gotta have time. Time is everything. Time is everything. You gotta have time. So you gotta try to balance out your time from this and that. That's why when you asked earlier about the sacrifices, nobody don't really see the sacrifices until you all the way up here. So you gotta try to balance out that time. Okay, if I'm going here for the weekend, I'm gonna try at least spend a week with the fam, or I'm gonna try to spend a week. You know what I'm saying? Like, you gotta balance out that time somehow, some way.
Have you ever heard of the greats around you that unfortunately lost families, children, homes, because the love for the sport or just the environment, like you, was just so strong that sometimes you feel like you can't have it all. You have to focus on one thing to be great at it, and instead of having, many different things and kind of be mediocre at age.
It's possible for you to do. It is possible for you to do everything, but if the balance, you gotta find a great balance. You gotta try to find a balance at everything. You gotta have a great schedule, because you don't want to overwhelm yourself either. You don't want to be trying to do this and trying to do that, because now not only the people around you frustrated, you going to start getting frustrated, and that's a part of the game that you really don't want.
Somebody asked me to ask you.
Oh my God! Here we go.
Is there a Mrs. Underground out here?
Mrs. Underground, did I mention that? Definitely in the building. She around here somewhere, you hear me? Hey, I'm definitely not available. You know what I'm saying? I ain't available at all. We gonna get that out the way real quick.
Don't say that, because they may get in my DM and start throwing pennies.
Yeah, I don't want no pennies thrown at me, you hear me? I don't want all that, you know what I'm saying? But definitely in the females, you know what I'm saying? Definitely street. I don't got nothing against nobody else, but I'm definitely in the females, but I'm definitely not available. You know what I'm saying? So I'm sorry, ladies.
Oh, damn. So you're gonna really make me tell the ladies that you're not available?
I'm sorry, ladies. I'm sorry.
Ladies, I'm so sorry. He made me tell you.
I apologize.
You apologize?
I apologize.
Say sorry one more time.
I apologize.
He's not sorry, y'all. He's not sorry.
I'm sorry.
Now that we're here, I would like to thank you also for sharing so much about yourself. But I also want you to add, where would you like to be in 5 years from now?
Oh man, 5 years from now, on a beach somewhere.
That sounds good.
Living on the beach somewhere behind somebody ocean.
Yes, that sounds good. Is there anything specific that you said to yourself, before retirement, I need to achieve that? I will not rest until I've done that. So
there will be no retirement at all.
Right.
I'm gonna do this to like forever. It's still kids out there that I haven't met yet. The only person that I really want to really sit down and have a one-on-one with, I would say, would be Floyd Mayweather Jr. I never really got a chance to interview him, or I never really got a chance to talk to him. I'm a real big fan of Floyd Mayweather. He's my number one athlete in the world. I got a lot of love for Floyd Mayweather. That's the guy I would love to meet and interview.
All right. Where can the people find you?
Underground Boxing News. Did I mention that? YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, whatever.
Is there anybody that you work with? Is there anything you want to ask you?
No, it ain't really too many people I work with, but I'm gonna tell you a little story about me. Underground, definitely grew up in West Philly. I'm from West Philadelphia. I ain't really have a good background. I've been through a lot. I've seen a lot. On my podcast, it's my brother up there. His name Nell. We call him Nell. I got him right here on my hand. He really introduced me to boxing. When I was coming up, I would get picked on a lot. You know, lighter skin. I'm not gonna say light skin, but I had lighter skin. So coming up, transferring schools, being chased, being bullied, I've been through all that. He introduced me to the sport, and I fell in love with the sport. He meant so much to me. I lost him. It's like every day is like a trauma I'm going through every day over that. It's like I really never got over that. So every time I go somewhere, like I got a chain, I don't wear jewelry at all. I don't wear jewelry at all. But I will wear that because I want his presence to be felt. Even though I got him on my hand, I still want his presence to be felt. Like when I'm at these big events, when I'm at these fights, it feel like he's with me. And not only that, I feel like he still protect me to this day. Because when I'm going to these places, I'm really going alone. And some of these places be like dangerous places. And I just feel like he like my guardian angel, and he always watching over me. And he had real love for me, like all the stuff I've been through with the bullying and stuff. He could have just been like teasing me and just going by my back and talk about. He tried to help the solution. He used to train me. He used to let me wear his clothes. You know what I'm saying? He used to like everything he could possibly do, give me money to go out. You know what I'm saying? Go out to the movies, hang out with my friends. Everything that he did to me it just never died, and I love him to death. I got him on my phone right now. He always gonna live through me. Like he always gonna live through me. He's never going nowhere. And that's why on my podcast, I always try to do the podcasts with his picture in the background, because he's the one who introduced me to the boxing, and I fell in love with it. I want to thank him for that. Like I really want to thank him for that, because he played a very, very big part of my life. So I love him to death, and I just thank you, and rest in peace. God bless his soul.
I would like to touch on something very important because of the city that we're in. For anybody watching you and this beautiful testimony for you, a lot of young kids, unfortunately, lost somebody very close to them. And that may also hinder, dreams and aspiration. They may feel like, how do I get and be what I want to be because of my environment or that loss? I would like you to tell that young person, man or female, the loss, what the loss may mean to them, but to keep on going, like a word that would make them feel like you spoke to them.
Proud. That's the word I'm going to come with. I'm going to come with proud. Because in my own situation, I know he's proud of me.
Nice.
I know he's proud. I know he's proud. Like, bro, you living your dream. You doing what you're supposed to do in life. You taking care of your kids. You taking care of your family. I got a child that got a degree. I had my first kid at 16 years old. The youngest person in my family to have a child. I was the youngest person in my family to own a house. I was the youngest person in my family to go to jail, to go through all these trials and tribulations. But it's up to you to do it. You want to make somebody proud. I don't want to make nobody, you can't make nobody proud of you in these streets. You're going to jail or you dead. You can't, how you going to make somebody proud? And my number one thing is, I know my man proud, I know Nell proud, but at the end of the day, my mother's proud of me.
Nice.
My father is proud of me.
Nice.
You know what I'm saying? So my children is proud of me. So them are the things that you want to do. You want to have a great story behind you. You don't want that story. Well, I was in and out of jail my whole life, or I did this my whole life, and you want to make somebody proud. Or you want, when your family talk about you, you want them to smile and be happy to talk about you. Oh my God, you talking about this boy? Oh my goodness, this guy. Oh man, he did see that. Like, no, have a great story behind you. Because that's the only thing you're gonna have, and your legacy is a story.
Well, I would like to thank you for everything that you shared with us. And thank you for trusting me.
Absolutely.
And my platform.
Absolutely.
You can say some nice stuff about me. You can just tell them how great I am. Come on.
Shout out to TC. And shout out to the podcast. And I really hope everybody tune in. It's going to be other people on here. Like I said, athletes and artists and business people. It's going to be a great platform for everybody. And everybody should get a chance to tell a story, just like I did. So definitely tune in. Stay locked in with her. Great person.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Absolutely.
Is there anything you want to add?
Y'all just stay tuned. I got a lot of big things coming up in the making. I want to give a lot of stuff to TC. So whatever comes with me, she will be getting the info. I'm definitely going to be coming back on the show to let y'all know what's going on and keep everybody updated. Like I said, I appreciate you again for reaching out to me, finding some interest and what I do, and actually being the first person on the show. So we just made history.
Yes,
So,
we did.
Did I mention
We for
that?
sure did.
I'm proud of what you're doing. Just keep going. And sometimes, like I said, it's going to get frustrating, but just keep going. If it's your
Thank you.
passion, just don't stop. Even when
I receive it.
somebody stand you up or hold you up, just if you gotta do it by yourself, just make it happen and just don't give up.
Don't make me cry now. That's the first
Oh
episode.
my goodness! I ain't trying to make nobody cry.
Give me a couple of episodes before I start crying.
Oh, okay. Don't start crying. You're gonna make me cry.
But thank you so much for being here, and thank you for sharing. I hope that you inspire a lot of people here, young, old, new. Because like you said, it's never the end if you have the passion or if you have the history, and it's never too soon if you have the drive. And it's possible to multitask, to have school, to think about having a business, to be an athlete at the same time,
Absolutely.
possibly hire a team,
Absolutely.
and to have a family life.
Absolutely. One last thing, y'all. One last thing. Always make sure your today's is better than yesterday's and your tomorrow's is better than the days, man. And then do not dwell off the past. Whatever happened in the past, let it be. Let it go. Because the person you are today, you wasn't 2 years ago. You wasn't yesterday. You wasn't a few years ago. And when you got people like that keep want to bring up your past over and over and you trying to better yourself, you gotta distance yourself from that person. You gotta subtract yourself from that person. No matter how close they is. If somebody trying to deteriorate your dream or keep bringing up what you did this time or that time, just let it go because you don't need that negative energy in your life. When they see you doing something positive, they should only want to build you.
I agree.
They should only want to build you and help you get to where you need to be. If they really love you, they going to do that
They're
and
gonna
understand
support you, yeah.
that sacrifice that you got to go through because you're going to get to that goal. You're definitely going to get there.
Because a lot of people trying to come in the way, but when you make it, everybody remembers you, right?
Everybody remember you.
That's how it goes.
Everybody remember
Yes.
you. I remember when we did this. I remember when we did that. You bringing up something we did when I was 15 years old.
Yes.
You
It's
bringing up
very
something
important.
we did when I was 19, 20 years old.
So something that I didn't ask you, when you have those days, you know, that people didn't show up or that you doubt yourself or you're not sure, or you may even go through a time where business is amazing, your profession is amazing, your interviews are coming in, but you're going through something personally. How do you cope with that? How do you either manage the personal to get to the professional, or how do you go around it?
That's business. You gotta know how to manage your family life and your business. I did a show April 27th. 2 days before that, I lost somebody super close to me to watch me grow up. My whole life, I was breaking down. I mean, he knew me my whole life, and he passed away 2 days before this fight. But boxing was my peace. You couldn't tell because I kept a smile on my face. But my mental, I was going through it. I was going through it. Like I was mentally going through it. But you gotta know how to balance it out. You gotta. If I wouldn't have did my interviews or I wouldn't have went to a fight, I probably wouldn't be sitting here where I'm at right now. So people got to understand the business side of things and they got to understand the personal side of things. And once you figure that out, you good.
For sure. So do you think you're a wise man now?
I'm almost there. I'm almost there. I ain't there yet. I ain't going to toot my horn too fast, but I think, yeah, I'll be there. I'll be there soon. Like I guess I'm still a student in the game. I'm still learning. One thing I did learn is you got to learn how to adjust
Yes.
to different, when you go in different rooms, you got to know how to adjust. So if I got to go in a room with a suit and tie, I could do that. If I got to go in a room where I got to speak proper, I can do that.
You know, you say that, and I actually noticed in the boxing game, because I had the chance to be around it in my own way, and a lot of athletes are just athletes. They don't take the time to be articulate enough for an interview or to know the side of the business enough, not to manage themselves because somebody else should do it so you can, you know, perfect your art, but to know enough so you can maneuver enough to get what you need. And as you say what you say, Do you feel like it's important for an athlete to allow himself to know more than just the game, just so at least they are able to do more? They can sit down and talk with somebody, they can network and let people know what they're doing out there? Or you feel like they should just stick to the sport and just focus on being great at it and have a team that do the rest?
Absolutely not. I think they need to go above and beyond. They need to learn the business. I think Floyd Mayweather, that's something great that Floyd Mayweather did. He learned the sport. So now he had to worry about getting over it. Because if you're just an athlete and you got managers behind you, it happens all the time in sport, not just boxing, basketball, football. The manager, they could be stealing your money.
That happened in the music business a lot.
Yeah, it happens. So if you're not educated and all you want to do is sign the dotted line, you don't know what it's saying. And that little bold, them little letters at the bottom, them little sentences, if you're not paying attention, they can give you $100,000 advance, but you owe them $2 million now. So just be smart. That's why the education part is so important. The education part is so important. You got to find time to get that education and take it as far as possible. Because now you don't have to worry about nobody getting over on you. You don't got to worry about nobody backdooring you, or you ain't got to worry about your manager, or you ain't got to worry about this person or that person, because you understand the business of the game. So that's very, very important.
How do you see the future of boxing in Philadelphia?
I see the future of boxing in Philadelphia is going to be huge.
I feel it.
It's a lot of young guys coming up. I'm gonna speak a few of them. I'm not gonna name two. This is not in no order. This is because I don't want nobody to be mad at me. I know boxers. You know what I'm saying? So Juan Different Breed Rivera the fifth, a guy to look out for, 140. Quincy Williams, DMV area, 147. Lamar Smith Jr., he's fighting at 140. These are just guys, up and coming guys that's pros already, had good amateur backgrounds that's coming up, guys to look out for. And there's a lot of other guys out there, but like I said, no order is not personal. I just threw out a few names that people can recognize. Great kids, man. Every kid I named was a great kid. Every kid.
Recently, I really see there is a rise. Not that it wasn't popular before, because it's legendary here. That's almost the home of boxing. Everybody knows Philly and boxing. People travel the world to come and box here.
Absolutely.
So I've always known that boxing was important here, and I've seen people passion into that sport. But recently, I've actually seen, in my experience, a rise. Like, it's like the energy is building to something. And I'm not in there enough to know what it is. And maybe I'm not going to see it. I'm not going to be here to see it, but I can definitely tell that in my time, looking at it, listening to it, being around it in my own way, there is something going on right now. And that's beautiful to feel.
Definitely. Like I said, we got upcoming boxers, but then we got boxers that's already there. And the boxers already there, they really kind of in tune, because you see them at these local fights with these upcoming boxers. So, for instance, we got a Danny Garcia. We got Jerron Booth Ennis. We got Jesse Hart. And these are guys that's actually in tune in a fight game, where you can go to a gym and you can see them. You can go to the gym and you can train with them. You can go to the gym and talk to them. For us to have that, we need to take super advantage of it, because a lot of times we don't take advantage. Boxing is no other sport. You can't go to where the Sixers play at and go talk to Joel Embiid and those guys. You can't go to where the Eagles practice at, or to a game and just go talk to Jalen Hurts. You can't do that. So by us having that in boxing, I really think we need to take advantage of that. And not only that, there's a lot of gyms out here that you can train for free. DSG gym is free. The Rock Ministries is free. So why not take advantage of that? Because boxing can take you very far, as long as you're determined. So you got to have dedication.
Do you feel like a young kid listening to you right now, grasping all this information, right? Is like, I didn't know this was possible. I didn't know I can go there and meet somebody or talk to somebody. Do you feel like they should have the courage to go to one of those places and just speak to somebody, even if it's just curious?
Absolutely. Absolutely. I say absolutely because Danny Garcia, I gotta give him his props. He's a role model, and not just him, but I'm just going to speak of him. So Danny Garcia, he gives back to the community. He do a lot for the communities that people don't know or people don't see. book bag drives, Thanksgiving drives, Christmas drives, training is free. He does a lot for his community. So that is a guy, and he come from that Kennington, North Philly area. That is a guy that came from nothing and made something out of nothing, out of his boxing sport. And he was a heavy underdog. Nobody would never thought he would be where he's at right now. He's going for a 3-division title. He's the only one in the Philadelphia area who ever done that.
That's amazing.
3-division title, 140, 147, 154. So maybe even 160, depending on what they come up with, but it haven't been heard of. So I'm gonna give him his flowers. Like, that's major. Like, that's huge in the boxing world. Huge.
Thank you so much for sharing all this. You giving us a little bit of history.
Absolutely.
A lot of content to look forward to, because the many names that you mentioned, many people don't know. So that's something or someone that somebody can look out,
Definitely.
get information, look at what they've done. And unfortunately for the one that you know that was dear to you that passed away, we can go back and see what the legacy
Absolutely.
it is that he gave us. And hopefully many people that watch this feel inspired.
I hope so.
I hope that you're really inspired.
I hope I catch a few kids.
Yes.
I know I can't save them all, but a few kids. So that'd be dope. That'd make me happy. That'd make me happy more than anything. If I could save a few kids' lives. I know in the inner cities it's bad, not just Philadelphia, but you got Chicago, you got New Orleans, you got LA. So if any of those kids out there and they watching, if you can take in the heat, like I said, people just want to be proud of you.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Have your story when your mom and dad or somebody includes like, I was proud of him. I was proud. He started off wrong, but he changed his life around. I started off wrong. I changed my life around. So it's definitely possible. You definitely can do it.
Yes. Thank you so much for your words.
Absolutely.
I am grateful to have you here.
Yes, ma'am.
And it was a pleasure to interview you today.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. I really appreciate it.
You're welcome or whatever.
Definitely
You're welcome.
appreciate it.